Why is it so hard to say no without feeling guilty? You tend to bend over backwards. You keep giving, giving, giving. You smile even though you don't want to. And call it being nice. Right? That's what you call it. You call it being nice. Let's talk about what real respect looks like from you, for you. Let's say that again. Let's talk about what real respect looks like from you, for you. Right? I want to tell you, I can remember when I was setting no boundaries when it came to my eating. Right? I remember it was no boundaries. I was eating fried food, fried this. And I was one of the people, I said I would eat a pig butt if you cooked it right. Yes, that's what I said, right? Because I love me some pork chops and the hog maws, the pig feet, all of that. Yes, I did. And I didn't even like boiled food for real. So I didn't truly care nothing about boiling no food. Okay? So, but for me, right? Once I chose to be honest with myself, right? Over being comfortable with my environment, everything changed for me, right? My peace, my business, and even most importantly, my energy, the energy that I have for myself, it truly changed for the better, right? So, and this is why I use my journal to rehearse hard conversations, right? And like I use my journal to prep myself to say that hard no, right? I really do that. Like I prep myself to say that hard no instead of saying that yes, because I know it's comfortable. It gets comfortable. Because let's face it, as humans, we tend to stay in our comfort zone. So, I want you to understand this. The 3 rules of respecting your boundaries is you got to have clarity first, right? Clarity over misunderstanding. So if you confused and you ain't understanding it, nothing is going to work out. So you have to have clarity over understanding. And that's why, like I said, I use my journal to gain clarity. It helps me when I write it out and I'm able to look at it and I'm able to, think through the process of that. That helps me a lot with that. And number 2, say it. Get comfortable with saying it. Don't hold it in. So say it. Don't save it. Don't save it for later. Say it now. And don't hold it in and save it for later, right? Every time you avoid saying the truth, you're saving their feelings, right? But at the cost of your own feelings. And that's not a place where we want to be at. And then a 3rd rule of respecting your boundaries is to remember that boundaries equals love, not rejection. Boundaries equal love and not rejection. Okay? So respect is not about pushing people away. It's not about pushing people away. It's about protecting what matters the most. You. So respect, don't look at it like it's about pushing them away. No, look at respect like it's about protecting what matters the most. You. Your mindset, your mentality, your principles, and your values, right? That's what it's all about. But you gotta understand that guilt often means growth. You're not being mean. You're being mature, right? So you ain't being mean. You being mature. Because a lot of times we scared to do, these things out of guilt. Because it's like, nah, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But no, it's about growth. You're growing. You're maturing. You're getting wiser. Okay? And then you also got to remember that honesty, just because you being honest, don't mean that you got to be harsh about it. It don't mean that you got to be, rude about it. No. But you do got to be clear. You do got to be clear about what you are saying, about your boundaries, about your values, about your principles, about your respect when it comes to you. Okay? So don't think that just because that you're being honest, that means that you have to hurt somebody's feelings all the time. Or that means, now you are going to hurt somebody's feelings, but not in a bad way. You don't have to hurt people's feelings and, by being harsh and angry and, just saying it. No, be mindful of how you say things, right? It's a way to say everything. So just because you're being honest doesn't mean that you have to be rude. No, it just means that you have to be clear about what your boundaries are, about who you are, about what you stand for. Okay? That's what it's about. So, if you're tired of silencing yourself, it's time to start honoring your truth right now. Right now. And the clarity journal is where you begin at. If you wanted to know and you like, where do I begin at? Heart Clarity Journal is exactly where it starts. Right? And if you want my exact coaching tools to build self-respect, make sure that you register for my free webinar that I do monthly. The link to the webinars will be always up in the subscription bio. If it's not in the comments of this video, go up there and click in the bio and click on that link and register for the free webinar. But only if you're serious, right? Only if you're serious and you want the exact coaching tools that I built for self-respect, right? Now, if you ain't serious, then please don't ask for the link. I'm only looking for my lions, the ones that are true. The ones that are real, right? The ones that are serious about their hunt. All right? Now, make sure that if that's you, don't wait. Don't take your time, right? Make sure you click on them links. Now, so we're going to just recap of what we went over. The 3 rules of respectful boundaries. So these are 3 rules to respecting your boundaries. So make sure that you always have clarity over misunderstanding. Make sure that they can surely understand what you are portraying. Because if they're not understanding it or they're confused about it, there is no clarity. And if there is no clarity, how can somebody respect your boundaries if they're unsure of what you're even saying? Okay? And then number 2 is say it. Don't save it. So say no today. Don't save it for later. Because if you save it for later, that means you got to say yes. So say it and don't save it for later. All right? And then 3. Boundaries equal love, all right, and not rejection. Always know that. Boundaries equal love for yourself, not rejection of self. So when you loving yourself, you are respecting your boundaries, you are respecting your values, you are respecting your principles. When you are rejecting yourself, you have become the yes man or the yes woman. And which one are you? All right? So which one are you? Just want to make sure. So now, with that being said, comment boundary queen or boundary king. if you're reclaiming your energy this week. So if you like, you know what, I'm ready to reclaim my energy this week, and by doing that, I'm about to register right now for the free webinar, then make sure that you comment Boundary Queen or Boundary King, whichever one you are, okay? And don't forget to subscribe. Truth and clarity are the new glow up. Yes, indeed. The new glow up. Yes, it is. Truth and clarity. And remember, if nobody else loves you, you already know Queen A does. Later. Mwah.